Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy Podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. I'm Roy. I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Warn Dogs.
And Calvin.
Coach Calvinator.
Boys, I've been at this caper a long, long time.
Yes, you have.
And I tell you what, in a pre-season when some prices start to roll out,
I know.
that's when we turn it up a notch.
Big time.
We get very excited.
It's very exciting time.
Very excited because, yes, landing in my inbox yesterday afternoon was the prices.
Always at an advantage, isn't it?
Straight to him.
Yeah.
Doesn't help a lot, though, to get an
Early access dog, they call him.
Is there rules about how early players come back to pre-season these days? I think there is.
There are.
There should be fantasy rule.
Yep.
He's back into it too early.
Especially as veterans. We're on the veterans list.
We certainly are.
Been doing this for a long, long time. But, yes, prices here. Cal, you had them. You wrote a great article about it.
Hang on.
Here we go.
Didn't quite happen that way.
I feel a bit left out.
Do you know how, like the exclusive he is to the prices?
Yeah.
I had to send the article to him and he added the prices in.
Oh, my God. That makes more sense.
Is that true or false?
That sounds more realistic.
That is true.
See, I wouldn't even let him look at it.
Jeez, I feel sorry for Suts sitting on the sub-editor desk with your articles, mate.
Why? Because it's bad?
Anyway, we do have the prices, and it's all happened, so it's pretty exciting for us to be thinking about this as the game launch is coming up. So, things to know. We talked about the salary cap last week, so that is confirmed. $14.8 million. So
Now, that's significant.
it is. So, maths on that.
Right.
It's 14% increase on last year, or almost 14% on last year's cap of the $13 million.
Yep.
But the good thing, potentially good thing, I hope it's a good thing, is that we actually have a bit more cash to play with. So, the prices, or the magic number as we talk about, that is 8,386 for anyone playing at home with that, which is the number that you multiply their average to see
Their
what
price.
their price is.
Yep.
So, and then you can work out, are they discounted because of that and those sorts of things. So anyway, looking at that, the prices have only gone up about 10% or so. So they haven't gone up as much as what the actual cap did. So potentially that means that we've got a bit more cash to play with.
It's going to be easier.
So we're starting with a stronger squad, you think?
I think so. And I think even this year, looking across the prices as well, there are a lot of guys that I feel are underpriced, or guys that didn't put up the numbers that we might expect them to this year, which we can always say in December as we're doing this, it always goes the wrong way. So that's one thing I'd say. So it's easier than probably the last two seasons that we had, but harder than 2019 when I did the comparison of that one. So dug right into that to see how that looks. So some of the things out of that is with the formula, so that magic number, you're multiplying that. The top price players, the big cow, who are they?
Our mate Tuk. He tops the list. $1 million.
That prices him out of it.
20.
You can't do that.
24,000.
You cannot do that. You could not pay $1 million for someone.
There's $2 million men, and Jack Steele's one as well.
Yes, so they're both
that's a
just
big chunk.
over $1 million.
That's a big chunk.
And the lower end prices, so our 170k rookies that we've been used to the last couple of years, they are now 190 at basement, which then puts Jason Horne-Francis as the number one pick at 290. So they've gone up a lot. Doing my maths on that, 193 would have been the figure, so you're getting a little bit of extra change if that was the thing. So
we all need
I guess it was rounded out as we went through there. I have put together a little bit of a team as well, so seeing what it looks like. We might talk about that a little bit later.
It's not even Christmas, Di.
This is that early pre-season advantage.
He burns out, though.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, I do.
That's the advantage on the flip side.
Cooked by January. So some of the discounts, we get discounts within the game. So if you didn't play a full season, you get a full 30% discount off what your price should be, multiplying it by their previous average.
You didn't play a full season, did you?
I didn't.
And then if you played fewer than 10 games, 3% for every game under 10 you get off your price. And that is applied to the higher average of the last 2 years, which do bring up a few anomalies there. So, Cal, when you're looking at your top price defenders, for example.
That's correct.
There's an example there with Jeremy Howe, because he averaged well over 100, I think, the year before.
Yeah.
And his discount is applied to that figure, not his.
He's 73.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people get a little bit narky about that, Roy.
But it's not a giveaway.
No.
You can't have...
No, but on the flip side, there'd be players that would be ridiculously cheap if that was working the other way. And I think I know what I'd prefer, not to have players too cheap and therefore everyone's got...
You shouldn't have players that pick themselves. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
If he's too expensive, don't pick him.
Yeah, that's it.
There's some advice for you as you go through that. Anyway,
It's not a rule that I like to follow, though, Dog.
No, you don't.
But Roy, you are the man you are the bargain hunter.
I do
love
to,
a bargain.
At this time of year, when you have the luxury of having prices in front of you, that is one of the first things I like to look for.
You could have your own show on 7, mate.
What?
A bargain hunting show.
Oh, that'd be good. I would be good at that. Yeah, they're very good.
So basically the bargains, what we might call mid-price players, did any catch your eye 100%. When you looked through that
here
list?
We go. Right.
I'll let you have a quick peek.
And, when I checked out halfway through last year, I started looking towards this season anyway. So I'm slightly at an advantage as well. I've been in pre-season for 6 months now. James Sicily is one that I always thought that he will rock straight into all of our teams. So he's going to be priced at about 5'10", Dog.
Yep.
That is a bargain.
Isn't it?
The sick dog. So he's averaged over 100 a couple of times in his career. You think about his intercept game, his switching, chip mark, +6 game. It's phenomenal. And for 5'10",
that's
I think
cheap.
He's a walk-up.
So I think the good thing with him now, surely Sam Mitchell will say, you are a defender.
Yes.
You're not going to swing
of
forward
course.
at all.
Yeah.
Because that hurts his scoring, obviously.
That was part of the roller coaster that was the sick dog, wasn't it? But you would think he will be locked and loaded back there. So he's a bargain. The other one, now we've done this before. We've been trapped by it. We've enjoyed him from time to time. But Wayne Miller.
Yep.
The potential this guy has is through the roof. We all know that. The only question mark is ever whether he can stay on the park. But if he has a full preseason, he picks himself. So 378. I heard you say a minute ago, Dog, the most expensive rookie is just a tick under 3, and this guy's 378.
If he's fit. And the word is Crows are taking a cautious approach.
Yeah, you can hide behind this defender status, though.
You could.
And we just have to wait. He'll be high on that watch list. So both him and Sicily getting that 30% discount, it just makes them very, very important for your side, especially at those prices. On the calculations too, so you average $493,000 per player if all 30 players had the same value.
If you went mid-price madness.
Isn't it ever?
So, and it could be, So if you're getting those guys there unders, that's going to let you get the bigger guys.
Yeah. And I just feel, especially Sicily. Sicily is a no risk here out of those two. Miller, obviously, huge risk. But Sick Dog, even if he's not scoring well, he's not dropping from that price.
I just love that we get to say Sick Dog.
Oh, he's back. Yeah, fantasy's back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Good. You didn't have Zach Williams there, Roy? Is he value at 600K?
He's on the radar, and he certainly is value.
Moving on to the midfield.
Value.
Moving on to the midfield.
Oh, God.
Dog, don't set him up for that.
No.
He doesn't need encouragement.
I only nibbled.
Midfield.
Midfield.
Right, Matt Rao.
Yeah.
Okay. That first year, he pumped out those 2 big hundreds. So that was in his first 3 games. He scored 100. That was when it was Corona Ball too.
Yep.
And he actually didn't have to adjust the numbers. They were the equivalent of 130s. So at his best, that kid he had pig tendencies. In his second and third game. Now, last year, he come back from... so he got injured again round 1, didn't he?
Yes, it was round 1.
Round 1, and then he's come back about 13 rounds later.
Yeah.
And
that was his knee, sorry.
He did nothing more than limp, really, to the
struggled.
end. So he averaged about 55 in the end.
55.3 from his 12.
55.3. So I was half switched on last year at the end. So that is well below what one of the most highly touted youngsters to come through in a long time.
Yep.
Then he showed us that he can do it from a fantasy perspective. At that price, I think I'll get burned again probably.
Yep.
I started with him last year. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
same.
And I think I have to do it again.
Yep, I'll be locking on. Considering he scored, what was it, a 108 and a 104?
Yeah.
That was not adjusted scores.
Yes.
So that's a 130.
Yeah.
130.
It's
They're just ridiculous.
Exactly.
So he's better than 55. Even
So
if you
much
average
better.
80,
Yeah.
so there's a 25 plus.
Yeah. So
Like upside.
it's a low
if
risk.
he's
isn't it?
named, he picks himself.
Yes, agree.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Now, what's the deal with Matt Crouch?
Oh.
Because you look
You're
at
the
Matt
Crows
Crouch,
man.
Same thing. I'm a Crows man, am I?
$6.49 he's priced at.
Yeah. Cautious approach they're taking again.
Very cautious.
So 30% off his average
110,
of
I think it was,
110.
yeah.
Puts him at 77.
Which is a bargain
It's
for
a
him.
dead set bargain
He's a must-have if he plays round one.
if he plays. I don't think he will. I
Don't
think
you?
so. He had
Is
groin
that-
surgery earlier this year, like in October or something, and he's slowly getting back into it.
He had 12 months off.
He had a groin relocation, right?
Oh, well, there's his issue. Why didn't they just come out and say that? So anyway, that's one to watch. But
It is.
If he does even half the preseason, if he gets to a position he's named round one,
Plays one of the pre-season
yeah,
games, and
yeah.
Yeah, he picks himself.
All right. What about Lachie Neale? Because he was
Yeah.
frustrating last year, but then you look at the fact 94.5 average, you feel like that's potentially 15 under where he should be.
and it's lower than what he's basically, when I say ever done,
Yeah.
like since he's been a good footballer.
Yeah.
So it's a long way.
It
a
is.
long way down. I don't know. He's 100 plus.
Yes, he is.
But why was he so frustrating
Injuries were an
last
issue
year?
for him. So he was.
Is he
playing
always going to
through
be that
those.
injury guy now, or is he?
Cop some heavy tags as well.
Yeah. So anyway, he's one that's
One to
way
watch.
underpriced. So is Patrick Cripps.
Cripps is very much on the radar.
Again,
of that too.
yes.
No.
And I think it's time to get
What?
back on the Cripper train.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, we're always saying watch their preseason and stuff, but with him,
That's
it
a
is
category.
super relevant.
It is a category.
Don't worry, I've already slotted him into it as well. But if he looks fit, because he
Yeah.
didn't look fit all last year, and it was obvious it was going to happen. We used to joke about the fact he was carrying that team.
Yeah.
But he really was. Like, he was taking so many hits
And
for
now,
everyone else.
while she carries them.
Now Walshy carries him. So that's got to be good for Cripper. And Huey's in. That'll take the pressure off.
Yeah.
Super Huey.
Rucks. We had enough of the Blues.
Oh, okay. Play on then. In the rucks, Wits.
Yeah.
Now, if Wits is ready to go, he
think
could
he's going to
be.
be. Yep,
he
he's
could
all
be
good.
part A answer to our ruck issues. this
Okay.
year.
We do this every
I
year.
know, but
find
this
one.
guy's a proper premium. He's like
He was a
in
good
the
pick
top,
at the start of last year.
He's
as
like
well,
in the top four.
until he got injured.
It gets to
Top
round five.
He's top five.
All right, it gets to round
Ruck.
5, and we all just go, why didn't we just set and forget this? Why do we tinker with our rucks every year?
Because this guy's 95.
So give me your ruck rankings then. Max, then Brody.
You still got to give it to
Yes, you still got to give it to
Max,
Max.
Brody, Grundy.
Yeah.
Darcy at 3.
Yeah.
4, does that become Rob again?
It has to be Rob.
So he's a bit of value as well.
Marshall.
Marshall's
Ahead
there.
of Rob.
And then
Is he?
Witsy.
He's top 6 then.
But Witsy for Classic as 572.
Yeah,
Way
I
too
know.
cheap.
He
He was
is.
on Fireball
Yeah.
too.
So he gets a significant discount because he missed most of the year there.
Remember that time Witz got you 100?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, that's when he was in the worst form of his career when you had
it was-
I forgot about that.
That's
I don't
why
know
he's
if
cheap
I'm
too.
blocking him in.
80. You got, remember?
Yeah.
You got an 80.
PCV.
And
1.25.
20. Remember, he was in such an effort to be positive. He +3'd it.
Yeah.
Like it was good.
Yeah.
Tried to trick himself. The other one, Prusy. We thought we were doing it
Yeah.
last year. Now, what's the
Has
deal
the
here?
boat sailed now on it?
Well,
Because he's cheap. 367k. That saves you a hell of a lot of coin.
Too
if
right,
you can
it does.
make him your R2.
they never loved Flinny. They dropped Flinny for Mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hate Flynn.
And Briggsy's even further behind
He's
than
only
that.
on the list.
I think he's back on.
He's back on. He is back on.
Like, yeah, there you go. So I think Bruce will
Yeah.
be their number one ruck
You'd
still.
think so.
Yeah.
Surely.
So for that price, we're doing it.
When-
and it's going to burn us.
We're gonna go
by
Wicks
round
and
3.
Bruce.
Bruce will have a rest round 3 and Flinny will be in. And
Well, you add those two players together and you're not getting Grundy or
It's
Max.
ridiculous, isn't it?
look, I'm doing it. I'm definitely doing that. Those two.
I'm set and forgetting, I reckon.
Oh, you will not. Now, you mentioned Rob earlier,
Yeah.
Dog. He is cheap because
For a
he was
reason.
disgusting.
It was awful.
He fully forgot to football. He forgot to run. He was struggling to walk.
Here you go. So in the first half of the year, he averaged 78. Back half, in his last 10, he went at 95.
Yeah.
That's what he is. He's a 95 to 100 guy, isn't he?
And he can play bully ball too.
Yep.
If he gets a game, a nice matchup against an undersized or inexperienced, he can go pretty big. He hits 130s.
Priced at an average of 86.
It's an awkward price for someone like him.
But
you're right, he should be 95.
Yeah. A little bit of meat on the bone there, Roy.
Yeah. So he'd be one. He will be the least popular out of all these underpriced rucks.
Yes.
That we're throwing around.
I just can't believe another season's come around and we're talking about cheap rucks.
The thing is, though,
There's problems at the top.
Max is going to have more Luke Jackson.
100%.
Sure.
Yes,
he
agree.
turned that game.
Yes, he did.
Grundy, I like those.
And just still on that Max thing, Max showed he can go forward now. He kicked, 5 in that final?
He'll get forward status, right?
So-
You've heard it here first.
So that's a
I'll be
possibility.
the judge of that.
That's a possibility. Now, you reckon the Ruck Pig is back?
I think he'll be all right because he's not going to have the same support there.
Right.
Who knows where Cox is these days? And old mate Lynch is gone. So Darcy Cameron's obviously there on their list. But I think he's a bigger chance to be a solo ruck still.
Right.
And he's only at 106 average there, Grundy. You know,
Who
so
was
and he
two
has,
lots of 120s previously.
Yeah, so that's well unders.
It is unders.
Okay.
It's just the way the game's changed.
In draft, we were picking those guys within the first 3 last year. You're not doing it this year.
No.
They're sliding.
I haven't looked a heap at the rucks though, but as a draft doctor say a lot of the time, punt your rucks. You can probably pick up in those later rounds an 85 ruck.
You can.
Yeah.
And just go with that and just get other positions.
Who would you draft first out of Max and
That's a great
Grundy?
question.
Yeah, I feel like it's Grundy.
Whoa, and I don't blame you.
Can't wait to see your rankings come out, dog.
Toss of the coin. You're doing some rankings, Cow, for the AFL record.
Oh, am I? Is that my turn to do that?
Yep.
Oh my goodness me!
I got a bit of feedback.
Probably
about
shouldn't have
my
said that.
early
Then
rankings.
people might be like going, "Oh, we don't buy that."
I'm not going to buy that one. Just don't read that bit. No, that will be good rankings.
Yeah, and I'll give you a hot tip.
Oh.
Tweet out that you've done yours and you'd like people to do theirs so you can compare.
All right, Rucks will be interested, but forwards, I think we've got a lot of guys at that top end. So, Cow, off your big list of your forwards, we have Timmy T, Tim Taranto, price I think 107 or so.
He's got to come in.
He's massive.
That's
if
where
he
you got to
is a
spend your
midfielder
money.
again, then
He's 904K.
Yep.
At an average of 108.
You've got the other names up there like Mitch Duncan, Dunkley, but Adam Treloar, I find him a little bit of value actually, to be honest, because he's under 90 where he's been pretty much 110 average for the last
hard to say no to that.
decade almost.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but
Mitch Duncan,
Yes.
like they're all there this year.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong.
God, Mitch can
so that's where you might
score
stack some
across half-back so quickly.
You might stack your premiums there.
Without a
Potentially.
doubt.
But value. There are a couple of guys, Roy,
Yes.
that you had on your radar when you found those.
100%. Will Brodie.
Oh, the number one player in Cow's trade rankings last week.
Yeah, that's right.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Good
Took us
research.
15 minutes to get to him, and
You told me to make a top 10. I'm never doing that again.
you can take some editorial control as well, Cow, and go, Warn Dog, I've got a top 2.
Just make the call count.
Stretch it out.
So 387 and can be hidden in the forward line.
Yes, that's the kicker, Roy. That's a good 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, so you agree on that one?
100%.
Yeah.
387.
So once again,
So
I'm
he's your
calling that glorified rookie price. It's so low.
F5-ish, F4.
Yeah.
Because you could have next to him as well. It actually costs a little bit more, and I've got a lot more faith in Will Brodie than Cam Rayner, who gets a big discount because of his year out.
I know, but God, even Cam Rayner at that price.
I was hot on him last year.
Yeah.
Because when we started our keeper league, I actually had him and stayed on the bench for the year because of the pre-season ACL that he had. But he was getting that more midfield time. He was ready to go as that former number one pick.
Signs. Yeah, so he's definitely one you could consider as well, depending on that role, I guess.
The role, because he can score like a bad rookie. That's the kicker. Like
Yes, he can. You can wear, so Rayner under 400 as well, you can wear a couple of bad scores for that.
Yep.
The good has to outweigh the bad.
But even there, like I'm looking here, 2019, he played all games and he averaged 45.
I remember that year. I just think he's so much better than that now.
Okay.
But, God.
Well, pre-season watch. Put him on the list.
Coming off that knee.
Put him on the list.
That's going to be the thing. Rightio, rookies. Now, these are where we can get our big dogs by filling, obviously, your bench.
Yeah.
Your 8 players there should all be the 190K or close enough to it.
Yeah.
And then we have a smattering. Is that a word?
That's a word now, dog.
Splattering?
Yeah, it's splattering, isn't it?
Splattering.
Like,
Sources.
Yeah.
On our on-field in different spots. Like
Yeah.
some on-field guys, I think that Jason Horne-Francis, the North Melbourne lad, he's at 290K, so he's the top-priced player of the draftees because he was the number 1 pick.
You'd do it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, he can get the ball.
He's a good player.
He, like Patrick Dangerfield, Freako says, so that's got to be...
Oh, cows
Oh,
off.
jeez, I'm crossing him off the
In
list.
that Sandford prelim that he played, 24 disposals, 3 goals, 112 points. Like
That's very
he's going to be pretty good across what he does. And I think the number one thing is job security, and that's what we are.
And he's played against men. He's played against men. And he averaged like 73 or 74 in the sample.
Now, they're obviously trying to take the pressure off him, but I didn't like the initial wording coming out around easing him in and all that yada yada.
They're going to have to, though.
He's just trying to do the right thing. But
And like he'd be not only best 22, he's probably best 5.
So he averaged 74 from his 20 games in Sandford seniors.
yeah.
So when we talk about some
Getting
of these
it done.
rookies and stuff, like they're coming from their under 18 competitions and
Yeah.
stuff. So if he's averaging 74 against men,
It's impressive.
it's pretty good.
It's very good.
It's pretty
And
good.
he's look. The other thing is though, he's only at North Melbourne, and I don't want to kick North Melbourne any more than I need to.
Nor
Roy.
do I, but I'm
Oh,
not
cracking
joking
article
about
coming
top
up
5.
too. Cracking article coming out about North Melbourne too.
They'll be starting just after Christmas.
They are a bit exciting, North Melbourne. I reckon
I
they're moving
agree.
in the right direction.
I agree.
Did you
They
get
do.
Hugh in there?
They're not even
Hugh gets a mention.
Not even joking about him anymore.
No,
Probably because Hugh's there. That helps.
Hugh's very expensive though.
Yeah, you're not touching Hugh.
No, but draft.
Can still talk about Hugh.
Of course you can.
Talk about
Nick
course you can talk
Dacos
about
is $284,000. Now, he's a ball magnet, and it
Yeah.
sounds like he'll probably play half back.
Yeah.
Get a bit of time in the midfield probably, but
He'll start on our field.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And so that's it. You could have, I reckon, your Horne-Francis at your F6,
Yeah.
M6, sorry, and M7 might be your Dacos.
At least they're nice names, sitting
Aren't
there
they?
Too.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be good. Average 136 for Oakley this year. So one of his big days, though, there was an under-19 trial game where he had 41 disposals, 2 goals, and 157 points. So
Quiet day.
he doesn't lack any confidence either. If you've watched any of the videos of him, he is pretty up and about.
He feels he's ready to go.
I think he'll be good.
And I like it.
Some of the other names floating through, and these, thank you, Freako at Champion Data. Another bloke, a mature age bloke, that is Greg Clark, likened to Matt Prittis.
Oh, nice.
God,
So,
that's
because he
cow. Matt is the reason we play this game.
I know. He changed our life.
Didn't he just?
pick 62, he was in the draft. So he played 19 games of waffle, again, against men, and he is one of the men in it.
God,
Average
you're
114.
Borderline being sexist the way you keep saying
Yeah, there's a sort of a pattern to Dog's team this year. Anyone that played against men. Get in.
Men.
Right. Just some of the other names that you can see floating around. Josh Ward, a few people might be interested in as pick 7 for Hawthorn. Plays like Tuke Miller.
Where did he
And,
play last year? Dog?
Took's a man.
108 against the little boys in the league. But yes, we'll have lots of rookie data and news. But it's not just going to be the guys that were the draftees, because I think we'll find a lot possibly from players that haven't played the game yet, so that have been on the list for a year. I reckon the number one player that everyone should have, I'll call it my first must-have of the season.
I like
Here we go.
Elijah Hollins.
Okay.
Mid forward, 190k.
Yeah.
So he can get the ball, which is a
can.
positive thing. And he was great in the VFL this year as well. Like, he actually racked up quite a bit in the VFL. So
I think Elijah may have been number 1 draft pick had he not done his knee when
Yeah.
he did.
Oh.
So that's how good he is.
Big call.
12 months in the system. He's actually, I'm with you. He is the number 1 lock. I'd even chuck him on my field.
yep.
Yeah.
So he could be your F6 then.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot today, fellas.
Yeah. So he scored 96 in his last VFL game this year. 27 disposals, 4 tackles. So
Yeah. Because, that
was a bit of a stat I found.
he
on
is
him.
he is good when he goes forward, but he's a mid.
Yeah.
Like, and he racks up in there.
Yeah.
Easy pick.
lock and load. A couple of others there like that. Yeah, R3 I think will be Sam Hayes.
Yeah.
They ditched Laddams to the Swans.
Yeah.
So
you reckon that'll happen?
I think he's the most likely of these.
He's the 8-gamer that we
players.
put
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
But who knows? The way the game's going, like, are we going to have some dual ruck setups a bit more?
Possibly.
Could happen throughout it. Lysett, who knows what happens with him at times. So, anyway, he's probably at R3 at this point. And Will Kelly, defender forward status, he played a couple of games and he's still basement price. So he's a 190k player. So
He'll play.
He's definitely a good preseason name to chuck there.
Yep.
While you play.
100%.
for sure. And I think that's a big part of it as well, that we are, picking these preseason names placeholders at this point.
Yeah.
I think that's my tip. Once the game opens, have those 190 guys on your bench and play around with what the rest of your side can look like.
Are you a guy, Dog, that picks your team straight away, like nice and early?
I'll fill up a team to see what it's like.
Yeah.
I won't be settled on it at all.
I get attached.
Do you?
Yeah.
Flick them round and round and round.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I don't really want to get rid of him.
No,
Well-
that's a problem.
Yeah.
Word is we're going to be open before Christmas, so Christmas Day, that's what that's going to look like, I reckon.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, not open on Christmas Day. Hopefully before that. But I'm saying Christmas Day.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
playing with my team.
Stuff the family. I'm making a team.
And the rest of your family will be happy about that too.
They
Too.
will.
They
It's a
will.
win-win.
What do you think you might get for Christmas? Some filler for your eyes or some...
I don't know what I'm getting for Christmas, Dog. Hopefully a new mate.
Cool, same. All right. The other bit of news this week, we had fixtures launched and landed. So that's cool. Because
It
we
is.
can,
That's really cool.
look at what's going on. So the things out of those, basically, buys are
load
still
up.
here as they are.
Load up with Carlton players.
Well, let's have a look at that shortly. But the buy rounds, well, Roy, Carlton
Yeah.
are in the first buy.
Yeah.
So they might be your targets as upgrade targets. So maybe
that
don't
hurts.
start with Sam Walsh
Yeah.
and look for him as an upgrade target because traditionally what we like to do is players coming off their buy. So
Yeah,
that
fair
first
call.
buy round 12 that you pick them up. So Carlton players, so Walsh is probably the only one that you'd be looking at there as an upgrade.
Well, yeah, look, I've heard a lot about them having the easiest draw in the history of draws. I'm reading about it.
I've
I'm
heard
hearing
about this.
it. So I'm thinking, how can someone like Cripper not take advantage of that?
So
and
that's
that's
good.
too late waiting on him because he'll be priced like an Uber Premium by then. By the buy.
Other round 12 buys, the Bombers, so maybe it's a wait on a Zach Merritt premium and
Yeah.
see how he goes. GWS, there's a few of those, so could a Tim Taranto, you just wait for him to come in because being priced at 107.
Like it's expensive.
It is.
We can't forget that.
That's a
What
lot.
do you think? You hear his name. What price just sits next to him? Oh, no, I mean, what average sits next to him when you think or hear Tim Taranto?
Well, depends if he's sitting. Remember when he sat forward?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that was horrific. I think he's a 110.
I close my eyes and I see Taranto 112.
Okay.
But that is a mid guy.
That's it. You're right, though, Dog. I think you can wait on a guy like him.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, it's going to be hard
Because
to
there's enough
pass.
other big dogs around him, I think, that are a bit cheaper. That's how I
You
feel
can still
about
rest easy knowing you've got...
You've got your Duncan,
At worst,
Treloar
it's
or
a-
Dunkley,
yeah,
who
yeah.
could all potentially average more than him if
Yeah.
he's having to play
Yeah.
that forward role.
What if they come out and say,
Full-time
apologies for last year.
Thing is, though, so you can go a Treloar who's $170,000 cheaper.
Yeah.
170.
You're definitely going Treloar there.
Yeah. Even a Dunkley, he's 120 cheaper.
You're definitely going Dunkley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't think
It's just, I remember last year, in the front half of the year, we were bragging.
Yes.
Because we didn't have much to brag about. But the one thing we found was starting with Taranto.
Yes.
And he was purely midfield, and we were bragging about what a good pick he was.
Yep.
So to think now it went downhill enough that he's become forward, God, the potential there is huge.
Well, you can even argue that I'm looking at a couple of his forward scores here 51, 67. Like, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, you don't want to pay up for that.
But at the start of the year, he's going 120, another 140, just smacking them out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, anyway, you can wait on him.
Okay.
Yeah, so those buys there, you can check those out at afl.com.au/fixture. We'll give you all the fixture things that we know. Obviously, round 14, the last one, that does have Collingwood and Melbourne in, as it always does because they play that Queen's Birthday game. Means the best 2 rucks are in that, but the third best ruck is in that week as well, and that's Sean Darcy. So that is happening across there, which might come into some of your thinking about that, knowing that those guys are going to be out in that round for that
dear.
buy. But it'll be best 18 again, and fingers crossed it all stays as it was because we did have a little bit of a switcheroo in that. Next thing, Cow, this might be up your little alley with Wednesday, Thursday and Friday games. I'm calling these the early games of the round. We mentioned last week the rolling lockout is in for season 2022, so we'll have those... the Loophole there.
Vice Captain Loophole dog.
About that, Cow. And the Western Bulldogs are looking like a good team to be thinking about for that.
All I hear there is Josh Dunkley.
Yeah.
And even Treloar if he fires up early. Because Dunkley can go... Yeah. Well, Dunkley can go 140s.
Yeah. Yep. And the fact that they're there, and you will definitely pick at least one of those 2 forwards. You'll have Dunkley or Treloar, if not both.
Yeah.
And that makes me think... You probably don't pay up for McRae because of that, because at least you've got one of those other guys to throw it on. Is that
so? They've got 5 early games, dog.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm looking here at your notes.
5 out of the 9 weeks. So we've got 9 weeks of days and times in our fixtures.
Yep. And Collingwood, Port Adelaide, and Sydney have 3 early ones. That could be your Grundy if you want to roll with that. But
there's actually quite a mix of them. You're always going to have someone, of course, in those earlier games. And it doesn't have to be just the first game, like the partial lockout thoughts in our heads because of the rolling. I'm thinking, there is that 1 week of Wednesday, but the Wednesday, Thursday and Friday games, you can pretty much find someone in that.
But Little Pig Mitchell and Little Pig Tuk Tuk, they don't have any early games.
So they'll be your backup.
They're going to be your backup. They're carrying the legit C.
Yeah. So Tom Mitchell, I think I want him in my side. I'm pretty bullish on him at the minute. So he'll be there and he'll be that whack the C on him if all else fails.
Safety blanket.
Agree.
Piggy.
It's good.
Yeah, that's a good safety blanket.
Because we've got a fixture.
Red, grey, table, cow scale of hardness.
It's not really cow scale of hardness. Dog did this one. But because Dog's, he's up and about this pre-season.
He is.
Takes me a while to get going.
He's in full swing. Yeah, well, you don't have the prices yet.
No, that's right.
Makes it hard.
No, I don't.
The fixture was online.
Now, this is the team with the best run early on is why you need to start with Jack Steele.
Right.
Oh, come on, man.
$1
million.
Find $1 million.
So, simple question off that then, before you talk about that. Is it Steele over Took? That's who you'd start with?
Based on the scale, yes, Dog.
Well, there you go. That's about the only way you could split them. Who would you go?
I think it's Steele.
Do you?
Just because he's going to get those tackles.
Oh, Took tackles.
Tackles? He loves a tackle.
Yeah.
I'm with you, though, Dog. I think it is.
I see a small regression in Took.
Do you?
This year. Yeah.
Look at this for a run, though.
Hard worker.
Contract year.
Jack Steele, yes, he
True.
did. Yeah.
True.
Jack Steele, he goes Collingwood, Fremantle, Richmond, Hawthorn, Suns.
Oh, God, no wonder you told me to find it.
That
You'd nearly have to find it.
So 5 greens.
No one does. No one ever has a 5 green streak.
No. A 4 green streak for Cow's mate Gaffy. He might be talked into this.
Gaffy.
Don't.
Hey, cheap.
We've been here before.
He's so cheap.
What's he going to score against Gold Coast in round 1, Cow?
Yeah, 130, 140.
I think he's lost the plot.
He is, I'll tell you what, he is a legit preseason watch. Head levelness. If it is really vertical, get him in.
Get your compass out.
If he's, that 45-degree tilt.
Any sign of a tilt and it's off.
Yeah.
Off the list.
Anyway, so he goes Suns, North Melbourne, Freo, Collingwood.
Yeah, it looks nice on.
The team that you don't want to start with, players from the team you don't want to start with, is Essendon. That's gross.
Oh, that works for me.
At Geelong in the round 1, that's tough. Brisbane and then Melbourne.
Yeah.
3 of the harder teams to score against.
Yeah, still
Not going Darcy Parish again?
Yeah. Darcy won't be wearing the C, will he?
No, he definitely will not. I'll tell you what, could you really, and no, all jokes aside here, could you really start with Jack Steele?
Yes. Yeah. Now I've seen that. I was a big no. But 5 greens is unheard of.
Yeah.
It gets you, and then how are you getting him if he does start really well?
That's a mega.
So that 120 that's next to his name, or 121, he was doing a lot higher than that in the back part of the season.
Yeah, he was.
So you're calling him a bargain.
So
At $1 million.
he could
$1
be,
million bargain.
Could he be averaging 140 after those first 5 weeks?
Oh, no.
And then how are you getting him?
The other part is, he's your captain.
Yeah.
Like, so you don't just get one, you get 2. We say it every year.
You're starting another rookie on the ground to get him.
You definitely would be. I'm just looking at his numbers here. So after the bye, he went at 134.
Okay, what about those sort of dudes that he plays, though? So who's he got? Like Collingwood, for example.
Collingwood.
What did he do against them?
116 last year.
Oh, quiet.
He's got Richmond in that. Who did he have against them? A 113. Oh, okay, not a great numbers there.
saying?
But I'm looking here, from round 8 onwards, he went at 128.
Yeah.
They're big scores. That's ridiculous.
And you want to get off to a good start.
You want to get off to a massive start.
So if your captain is outscoring everyone else's captain by 20,
Yep.
which he probably will.
I'm just looking here. 160, 150, multiple 130s and 140s.
See, if you miss out on a 160 captain, potentially twice in the first 5-week streak.
It's a rage quit.
It's a rage quit. It's got it written all over it.
Hasn't it ever? And
as I was saying off the top of the show as well about the salary cap and then the magic number being lower, maybe you can afford him. Because normally we don't pick the top price players at the start of the year. We always look for value.
Beg your pardon.
Yeah, well. I don't know. It's definitely an option. I think you could.
Okay, I'm considering it now.
So am I. Scala hardness wrecks your season from the start.
It's never wrecked me from round 1.
But it might just mean, Roy, that your Cripps, you're just taking a bit more of a punt on him than someone else. Like you might pick Cripps over Lockie Neal.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
could
God.
be.
Warnie's just picked my team.
And the only other
little piece I needed.
The only other little thing out of the scale as such is that teams play each other twice. There's 5 times, or 5 teams that they will play a second time. So out of all of those, there's probably not a heap to get into it. But the best doubles, Crows, Blues, Gold Coast, and Bulldogs have the best second team that they play. Like the best draw with that. Like the Bulldogs, for example, there, out of the 5 teams, only one of them red. The rest are all green. Yeah. So, and that's against Geelong. So,
woof.
So they get to play like Gold Coast a second game, and like think about what that midfield can rack up.
So this is Treloar. He's just picked himself this year, hasn't he? At that price as a forward.
And Dunkley and McRae, they all get in my team.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm going to have so many rookies on my field.
Oof.
Well, that's something that we're going to be able to do very soon when the game opens up. So stay tuned to the social media stuff at AFL Fantasy on Twitter. On Facebook, it is AFL Fantasy Official. You'll be able to stay tuned for all the news and any little updates from us as well. We've got some great articles coming through. We're already working hard. We've got a bit to do, boys. We're actually working very hard
under
this
the pump
pre-season to get stuff done.
In case you didn't realise.
Ahead of Christmas and, to get us through what will be a pretty fun January as we look at our club previews, podcasts throughout those, and yes, we've got a little bit of work to do to get ready for those, Cow. You've been working that hard that North Melbourne were
a pleasure to write about. Richmond, on the other hand, Roy, not so pleasurable.
Yep, well, that's it. Thanks very much for tuning in.
I've actually got a question before
do you?
Because I've been very confused this whole podcast, to be honest.
What about?
Is there another Warnie working at AFL?
Why is that?
Because I listened to AFL Daily. And there was this pleasant, upbeat, almost giggly voice.
Well,
and now, I get this one.
Damo Barrett went
Grumpy
on holidays. Who'd they get to fill in today?
Doggy Barrett.
Bubbly dog.
You were bubbly, wasn't he?
No, it was good. It was good. It was nice to talk to actually nice people. G'day, Sarah.
It came through in your voice. It
was refreshing.
I am now looking at ways. Not like us.
I'm looking at ways now to say, see you boys, and go out on the
I could tell.
solo dog program.
How happy was he?
He was really happy.
See, that makes me... We need a bit of self-reflection.
Yeah.
We need to bring that happiness out in him.
Yeah, I don't know how
I thought he was going to giggle all the time.
Oh, you peanuts. Go and listen to AFL Daily. It's good.
It was good.
Might even be some more exciting things coming into that feed this week as well. They call on the big guns for the big jobs. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Probably.